Hey, what's up everybody? Before we get into today's epic CAD vs. CAD battle, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. All month, we're going to be taking the challenges from the tournament and we're going to be remixing them a little bit, maybe changing some dimensions, changing the material, and we're going to be adding them to the library over at tootalltoby.com. So if you want to challenge yourself to see if you could model these parts faster than our speed modelers from the tournament, this is your chance. Head over to tootalltoby.com, sign up for an account, and unlock Practice Models Premium. And we are going to continue remixing these tournament challenges and posting them in the Practice Models library all month. So I hope you guys enjoy all those challenges. And of course, be sure to let me know down in the comments what you think about today's CAD vs. CAD battle. We are going to move on now to what we call the Wheel of Fate. Now, basically, Aaron, the way the Wheel of Fate works is that if we were to know ahead of time what drawings are going to be used, we could maybe skew the challenge, right? If we know MrAlex is really good at sheet metal, then we could just load up a bunch of sheet metal challenges, right? And then give him an advantage over Max. So instead, what we do is we randomize the drawings that come out during the tournament. Okay, we create a pool of drawings. These are all tier 4 and tier 5 level difficulty drawings, but we randomize it. And so you can see in the chat, something that our chat community has gotten really good at is becoming a little clairvoyant. So you can see here that Rock Crawler is coming in right away saying he thinks it's going to be drawing number 23. All right. And we see that a lot of other people here in the chat are also trying to prove their clairvoyance. And so we got all these great answers in here. I don't think I'm going to read them all because I'm excited to get into this first match. But what number do you think it's going to be, Aaron?
Man, I'm going to go with 23. You know,
yes.
You got to go with Jordan's number.
Yeah. And Rock Crawler. We had Rock Crawler come in right from the start. Let's go. 23, Michael Jordan. Here we go. I'm not even going to shuffle it this time, guys. I'm just going to rip it. We're going into it here. I'm excited about this matchup. And boom, right off the bat. You got it correct. Just like you said, Aaron, 18.
Just like I said. That's perfect. Yeah. No need to rewind. Just take our word for it. That's what I said.
That's what he said. Yeah. All right, Aaron. Well, listen, while the production team is getting this challenge ready, perhaps you could teach us a little bit about these runners.
Absolutely. So MrAlex, a longtime friend of the Too Tall Toby community, coming in here, been using SolidWorks since 1997. And man, I thought I've been using SolidWorks for a long time. I've been about 20 years, but MrAlex is just crushing me with coming up on 30 years as a SolidWorks veteran. Amazing, amazing. He loves machines. Even owns a car. Maybe he lives in the city where cars aren't super popular. I don't know, but still rides his bike to work. Then we've got Max from Denmark. Cheering for Max. He won DM, a Danish championship in additive manufacturing, and is extremely talented. Curious to know what kind of additive manufacturing competition he won. That sounds super interesting.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And so both of our runners here, a lot of experience. Very excited. It's kind of like, it seems almost like it's like old school versus new school here. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out. But I know that watching both these runners in the past, they are both very capable. So I am ready for this, Aaron. Are you ready for this one?
I'm so ready, Toby. Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right, guys, here we go. This very first CAD vs. CAD battle of the day, featuring MrAlex, our number 8 seed from Latvia, using SolidWorks, squaring up against Max, our number 11 seed from Denmark, using Fusion. This CAD vs. CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in x.xx pounds? The tolerance on this part is plus or minus 0.01 pounds. It's made of 1060 aluminum, and it is in inches, IPS inches. So both of our runners here getting started. Let's flip over and see how they handle this. I know that inches are not really that popular in Europe, so this will be interesting to see how both of our runners approach this. And it looks like they're both starting with a sketch looking down from the top plane. Looks like MrAlex used some auto dimensioning, but I think Max used some auto dimensioning there as well. Very interesting. I think this is probably going to put both of our runners a little bit out of their comfort zone. MrAlex on the left using
That
SolidWorks.
was cool.
Max.
Yeah, he put fillets on all 4 corners at the same time. I didn't even know you could do that in a sketch. Very cool. I'm learning something already.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about these tournaments is seeing how our runners have learned to navigate the software, have practiced doing speed modeling, and have really refined and honed their workflows. Created a sketch of a rectangle, then put a window of around the corners. Very cool.
And I like your 1060 aluminum call out there, Toby. I'm not super familiar with 1060, so that's a different one. If you've memorized the massive like 6061 T6, which is what we see so commonly, then this is going to throw you for a loop, or you're going to have to actually specifically apply that material and figure out what the mass properties are.
Yeah, that could definitely be the case. I mean, we do have a library of 4 materials that we always use here in the tournament. So all the runners know, and they should have their libraries configured. But so it looks like Max on the right decided to take kind of a different approach. MrAlex already getting all those fillets, but Max deciding to kind of create some sharp corners and then use a circular pattern to get that cut extrude in place. That was a really nice set of moves there. He's working from the back side of this thing, and on the back side of this thing, there's a pocket for the location of that kind of circular pocketed out area. And so now we see Max going around getting those corners filleted. That's what MrAlex did earlier in the sketch. And wow, these guys are neck and neck here. As we get deeper into the tournament, you can see that the models are getting a little more complicated. So, you know, in an earlier round of the tournament, it might have just been the square with those slots in the middle, but this one's got a little bit more. It's got the pocket on the back. It's got the geometry in those corners, the counter bores there in the corners. So very interesting to see how our runners are taking care of this. And it looks like Max maybe used some direct editing there to pull that hole down through on the corner. That was a really nice move there. He didn't even need to make a sketch.
Toby, where do you come up with these models? What's the process for creating these different levels of modeling challenges?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe we talk about that between the matches. I want to make sure that we keep an eye on the action here. Yeah, I could easily go down a rabbit hole on that question. So we see Max was able to go through, was able to get those fillets around that top edge, and it looks like he may be getting pretty close here to finishing this thing off. Now, it does look like maybe, and we've seen this from Max before, it does look like maybe he modeled the part a little bit differently than what was shown on the drawing geometrically. I think he might be trying to use what we call an Ivan exploit. And so we're going to keep an eye here on the chat. Max coming in with an answer, 1.27 pounds. And that is correct. Wow. And wow. So Max, once again, utilizing what we call an Ivan exploit. He decided instead of putting that pocket on the back, he was going to just put it in the front, right along with some of that other geometry. And in the case of this tournament, that is an available exploit. Sometimes it ends up getting a little bit of heat from the chat. Sometimes it gets a little bit of heat in the comments, and we see users doing that. But the long story short is that as we get deeper and deeper into the tournament, it's going to be harder and harder to find those exploits. I think that if it was me, I probably would have just put that pocket on the back. I don't know if it necessarily saved him that much, but you know what? He was able to do it. He was able to come up with the correct mass, and GG to Max. Wow, he really blasted through that model pretty quickly. Wow.
MrAlex was not far behind. Congratulations.
No, MrAlex was right there, but Max was really able to get that thing.